see you, Nintendo. You trying to make me look stupid. I want a Switch version that I could play longer in handheld. You stupid. Welcome back to the DoDump, where the only thing staler than the memes is the actual news itself. The other day, Nintendo announced that a new revision of the Switch will hit store shelves anytime now with a much better battery life. I wonder if I was just asking about that. A whole 2.5 to 6.5 hours longer in handheld mode. This Switch revision confirms all the Switch Pro rumors that were flying around that people originally thought was the Switch Lite, but then Nintendo filed for new hardware revisions regarding its processors, both CPU and GPU, as well as things that have to do with flash storage. So we can assume that the large majority of the actual battery improvements was from just optimizing hardware. There's been nothing to confirm that this is gonna better load times, graphics, or any processing or buffering. Maybe the processor revisions doesn't have to do with actually increasing the processing capability, but optimizing things like the heating issue when docked. You know, people were complaining about warping switches since the original launch back 2 years ago. I always play with my Switch docked. I haven't noticed any issues myself. I even streamed Smash Ultimate for 25 hours when it came out. Twitch.tv/MrDodo_YT. Go drop me a follow. Even with all those excessive streams while docked, I haven't noticed any warping. That's just me though. These new Switch models are just gonna phase out the old ones. No fancy name or anything. It's just called the Nintendo Switch. So this got some people bummed out because they're expecting a Switch Pro or the next Switch revision to actually have drastic improvements in terms of, I don't know, hardware such as graphics or loading times. Again, this could actually affect loading time since it's changes to the flash memory, but that's yet to be seen. Since it's just the Nintendo Switch, it's gonna have the same price, $300, yet drastic improvements to the battery. So in my Switch Lite video, I talked about how improving the battery life by half an hour to an hour was really missing the market of already Switch owners looking for an exclusive handheld experience. But now this new Switch model satisfies that niche market. You already own a Switch and you want one that lasts better in handheld mode, this is the one you want to get for another $300 though. And if you want a cheaper Switch that's just easier to travel with, it's lighter, it's more compact, you have the Switch Lite. I don't need one since I just want better battery life, so I get a new Switch, but I still want one because it looks awesome. You can tell it's the new model of the Switch. The serial code starts with XKW, but the easiest way to tell is by the box art. The new Switch model has a Chad red box art, while the old Virgin Switch model has a gray model with a disgusting hand on it. You're pathetic. You could probably get one now. Just go to Walmart and ask the people to get a Switch from the back since they'll probably have the old models in the front. There's no release date or anything. These new Switch models are just gonna phase out the old ones. If you do get a Switch Lite, again, you would need to buy separate Joy-Cons for games like 1-2 Switch or Super Mario Party. And what better time to get new Joy-Cons than when Nintendo announced that we're getting new colors of Joy-Cons. We have this neon purple and orange combination, which looks like the Wabros, and this neon blue and yellow one, which I guess represents Mario's overalls and his piss. These new color of Joy-Cons will be available October 4th. You think since Nintendo is doing all these revisions to the Switch, that they would also do revisions to the Joy-Cons since there's a prevalent issue since the Joy-Cons were released, that being the Joycon Drift. People have been increasingly voicing their concerns to Nintendo recently, saying how much of the Joycon Drifts is truly a problem. Kotaku stated that 1 in 4 Switch owners have dealt with Joycon Drift. That's roughly 8.7 million Switch owners that have dealt with a drifting Joy-Con. The cause of the Joycon Drift is believed to be built-in residue from moving around or using the joystick too roughly. There could also be reasons such as faulty hardware itself or faulty software even. It's also been pointed out that in the Switch Lite, since the Joy-Cons are just built into the console itself, it could also have the same issues with its joysticks, which would be a massive problem because you can't just get a new replacement Joy-Con. And if you want to play the Switch Lite with a controller, it doesn't actually have a kickstand, so you're just screwed. And of course, it's Switch Lite, so you can't just put it in the TV. So basically, if the analog stick drifts with the Switch Lite, you're screwed. Users have looked to find ways to fix the Joy-Con drifting. Some users have opened up the Joy-Cons and used an air compressor to blow out any residue from the analog sticks, or even now they have Joy-Con fixing kits to replace the analog stick apparatus entirely. I mean, these things aren't cheap. They're 80 American, so if you get Joy-Cons with the Switch Lite, that's basically the price of the Switch itself. It's been 2 years, Nintendo, and with all these people complaining about the Joy-Cons, it's time for a revision. Oh, of course, after writing the script and recording and looking at what news stories I could use for the next DoDump, I come across this. It perfectly involves the stories that we were talking about in this DoDump, so let's just go over this live. This article literally came out like 4 hours ago, so I have to be quiet for my neighbors, but let's go over this. So apparently, class action lawsuit officially filed against Nintendo for Joy-Con drifting issues. Again, I haven't experienced these issues myself with Joy-Cons, but if it really is 1 in 4 of the consumer base, then I can see how this is a massive problem, especially again, for $80 controllers. Yesterday, we found out a law firm located in the US was preparing to file a class action lawsuit against Nintendo based on reports of the Joycon Drift. I don't know if this is legit, but I think it's worth going over. So take it with a grain of salt if this gets debunked in the next week. The law offices of Chemicals Schwartz, Kreiner, and Donaldson Smith for claims relating to alleged defects in the Nintendo Switch controllers. Alright, so we got an actual name. This looks legit. Filed a class action lawsuit against Nintendo of America, Inc. Specifically, the complaints alleged that the Joy-Cons of the Joy-Con controllers will automatically register movement when the Joy-Con is not being controlled by the users. The complaint filed on behalf of purchasers of Switches and Joy-Con controllers bring claims under various consumer protection statuses, as well as various warranty and common law claims. So that's the other thing. If Joy-Cons really are this prone to drifting and we only get a 1-year warranty, that's a little bit sketchy that you would need to replace them so often. I'm not gonna go conspiracy theory here, but there really is an actual defect problem, and that's seen past the 1 year. Maybe that's why I didn't see any drifting issues, because I've only had mine for 10 months, and maybe in 2 months I'll see an issue. Further journalism research. No, I just see Volvo, BMW, Gillette, HP, Honda, no Nintendo cases. But hey, if this firm really is about consumer fraud and defective products, that sounds exactly on par with the Joycon Drift issues. These would be the guys to do it, that's for sure. Even if this isn't real, hopefully this is a wake-up call to Nintendo to actually put an effort in resolving this issue. People have complained about this issue for 2+ years now, 2.5? Like literally 2.5 years people have been complaining about this issue. Wait, hold up, post-script, post-editing, I just thought of something else. If this lawsuit actually goes through and Nintendo loses this, does that mean that they have to retract the Switch Lite? If it really is the same hardware and the Switch Lite analog stick will be prone to drifting too, then what the hell are they gonna do? Delay the release? Y'all wild, Nintendo! In other news, the Hero, the second fighter in the Smash Ultimate Fighter Pass, is believed to be coming out before the end of July, anytime this or next week. That's because Nintendo released the thing saying what's coming out in July and put the Hero on there. We also got a new trailer for the Pokemon app, Pokemon Masters. Again, set to be released in summer. Guys, there's a month and a half left for summer. And also, why don't you just tell us release dates? At least we got an actual release date for Luigi's Mansion though. It's coming out on Halloween. That's it for today's DoDump. Subscribe with them bells on so you can catch the next one. Leave a like or a dislike, I don't know. Have any of you guys experienced any Joy-Con drifting? Do you have the Switch? And if you're gonna get a new one, are you gonna get the Switch Lite or the actual new and improved Switch? Better battery life and maybe better loading times. We'll see about that. Me being a Switch owner, I have reasons to get the new Switch since I said I wanted one with a better battery life, but at the same time, I want a Switch Lite just because I like the way it looks. Anyways, bye.